Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we are at GCW in Tampa, Florida, and we're just not at some like regular gymnasium. No, we're at a chocolate festival here. I mean, it can't get much sweeter than that, can it, Tony?
No, it's great. It's great to come out here into the Tampa community, put something on for the people, and also offer free live wrestling at the same time.
Yeah, right. I mean, people are coming out here. They're getting some goodies, some good wrestling. Saturday afternoon, it's beautiful. You can't ask for much more.
No, it's a great day. The event's been hyped up for almost a couple of months now. Looking at the Facebook feed the other day, there were over 40,000 people who were talking about being here, so I hope we get to see at least half of that today.
That's true, because actually when I reached out about coming out here, the owner, Gomez, said, get out here early. We're expecting like 20,000 plus from last year, so this is a big event. You guys are going to be performing a lot of people, so it's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's outstanding. You know, the Tampa community is very strong in the wrestling faith, and you know, they've always had our backs in wrestling, so we just want to be able to give back and put on for them today. Right.
Now, I would ask you about your match. Yeah, but it's kind of unannounced.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't have one.
Okay.
I'm a huge GCW guy. GCW's been around for a few years now, and I've been a part of almost every single one. And going into this 12th show, I was informed that I'm here for autographs and photos. So I've got my booth set up over here. That's what we're here for. You know, I'm not supposed to be in a match, but if that changes, if anybody in the back wants to go toe-to-toe with one of the top rising stars in the state of Florida, I'm all game.
Yeah, there are quite a few guys in the back. We just came from the locker room now. You were back there warming up, flexing, and you're a pretty buff dude. So it's going to take somebody with some real cojones, I could say, to challenge Tony Storm.
You know, they can come with it, but at the end of the day, what goes up must come down. Their egos are going to go up, but I'm going to bring them right back down.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Now, what got you into professional wrestling, Tony?
To be honest, I've always been a fan of wrestling, but if you followed my story, which I've laid out multiple times throughout the Cauliflower Alley Club interviews, on my YouTube channel, I didn't seek out professional wrestling. Professional wrestling sought me out, and it was a wonderful opportunity presented to me. I couldn't say no, and you know, once I caught the bug, I went full bore from then on, and I've been going 100 miles an hour with it for the last 9 years.
Now, Cauliflower Alley Club. I interviewed Blair, who's the owner of the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Right. He's the president.
He's the president of the Cauliflower Alley Club. I interviewed him last June at a WrestleCon. Super nice guy. I mean, a legend, tag team. Phenomenal. And then you got nominated as like Wrestler of the Year 2018 for the Cauliflower Alley Club. Is that correct?
That's correct. 2018, I was the men's wrestler of the year. It's an outstanding honor. It's one of those things that you can't just walk in and say, I want to be part of the Cauliflower Alley Club. They have to reach out to you. It's a very elite organization. It's almost like a big fraternity. The Cauliflower Alley Club is the only 501c3 organization for professional wrestlers, funded by professional wrestlers. You know, they've done a great job in helping the likes of those guys who really need the help but can't afford it. In our line of work, we don't have health insurance. We don't have any type of health care, dental, anything like that. So we run the risk of getting hurt and paying for it ourselves. When we say we put it all on the line for you guys, we put it all on the line because, again, we accrue the hurt, we accrue the injury, and then we accrue the expense as well. But the Cauliflower Alley Club has saved the lives of multiple legends of our industry. And, you know, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Blair and all of the people who allowed me the opportunity to join into that organization and vote me in and bring me in 2018. So they will always have a very special place in my heart, and I will be, you know, forever indebted to them.
That's what I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, everybody knows wrestling is sports entertainment, but the stuff that you guys do in the ring is real. And you guys, you know, you take the bumps, you take the injuries, and then you got to pay for it. And
100%.
There's great organizations like the Cauliflower Alley Club that are helping guys. I know he said like Kamala that lost his legs due to diabetes, and they're helping those guys out.
They've funded a lot more than they ever actually even publish. In 2018, when I was inducted, they had told us that they had spent over $100,000 of donated money, because I donate money every year. If somebody's going to give something to me, I need to give back to them. So I donate money every year. A lot of the guys donate money every year, and they paid out over $100,000 in medical bills. They say, I can't name names, but they ended up saving one guy's home from being, he was going to get kicked out of his home. You know, it's things like that you think you understand what this business is, until you're a part of something bigger than the actual business and the day-to-day grind of the ropes and the falls and the fans. And being a part of something like that, I'll never be able to let go of.
Right. Yeah, no, they're really doing some good things. And guys, if you have not checked out the Cauliflower Alley Club, it's a great organization. But we're going to turn the tables just a little bit because, you know, we want to have some fun now.
Let's do
so
this.
we're going to talk a little movies.
Okay.
Okay? Do you have a favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, all time. That's tough. You know, I don't know if it's a favorite movie of all time, but I will say I was watching a movie today before I came out here that motivates me, and it's always motivated me, Rocky IV. I think the training montages in Rocky IV really set the tone for today's movies and the movie montages in all your major fight movies, like your Never Back Downs, your Creeds, and things of that nature. But Rocky IV will always be like that go-to movie when you need inspiration, when you need motivation, and you're ready for a fight. Like, that's the movie.
You know, I have to agree 100%. Not only is the movie great, like, it's my favorite Rocky movie of all time, too, but the soundtrack, it's just something special about that soundtrack.
Top notch.
You know, at one point I was doing a lot of Spartan races and Tough Mudders and stuff like that. When I was training, I had the Rocky IV soundtrack on because it's like there's no easy way out, there's no shortcut home. Like it's such a great movie, and anybody that if you're thinking about just going out and working out for the first time, I think there's no better soundtrack than that Rocky IV soundtrack to throw on.
If you can't get motivated listening to that soundtrack or watching that movie, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Because that is the all-time go-to motivational movie.
Right. Okay, so we talked about your favorite movies, Rocky IV. I have to agree. I mean, it's such an awesome movie. Now, do you have a favorite guilty pleasure movie of all time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have to be the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
Like, I'm such a kid at heart. Like, when I'm in that mood, like, I'll put it on and I'll catch myself just out loud, as loud as I can, singing the songs to that movie. And it's so annoying but catchy and fun at the same time. It really like gets my creative energy going because there's nothing real about this.
Right.
But it's so creative that somebody came up with that whole concept and the factory and just the way that everything works there, and one thing leads to another and one piece allows another piece to work itself out. I love that movie.
Right.
Love that movie.
Isn't it great that we can be like big guys like us and enjoy movies like that? Because like one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies is The Goonies.
Oh, that's a great one.
Love The Goonies.
Love
I mean,
The Goonies.
it's like a movie like that in 2020. Yeah, R.I.P. Sloth, you know. Yeah. But, you know, in 2020, a movie like that could never exist because there's cell phones, there's GPSs, or all that stuff. And I love movies like The Chocolate Factory and The Goonies. Like, those movies just can't be made anymore.
No, those are one of a kinds. Those, I hated when they remade Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Don't get me wrong. I think Johnny Depp is probably one of the top 3 actors in the universe. He's able to be one of those guys that can literally just change himself, and he's never pigeonholed into one role. Right. You know, he's a phenomenal actor, but to try to remake a movie like that, it just hurts the integrity of the original.
It does.
In my opinion. I could be completely wrong. I'm not trying to offend anybody, right. But for the love of God, do not try to remake The Goonies. You would be doing the world an injustice.
Yes. I think we 100% agree, because last year I went to MegaCon in Orlando, and the Goonies cast was there, and people were asking them, should they remake the Goonies? And the cast is like, no, leave the Goonies alone. I agree 100%. Now, you're on the independent scene, okay? Right. Everybody knows there's plenty of wrestling on TV, almost too much to even kind of keep up with. There's Raw and SmackDown and AEW and Impact, and there's so much wrestling to watch. But I love coming out to the independent shows because you get to meet, you know, young up-and-comers like you that hopefully will be on the shows one day. What would you say to people that haven't come out to their local independent show? What are they missing out on?
What they're missing out on is hunger. What they're missing out on is determination. When you see, and again, my goal is to go to the WWE. Okay. It's no secret. You know, I would love for the opportunity to get another tryout with WWE at the Performance Center and get signed. The only thing is, when you get to that level, you've already got to that level. The hunger goes down. The desire to grow goes down. There's no other place to climb unless you're looking to be the main event at WrestleMania. Right. But once you've done that, you kind of hone it back. You save your body for the next show, for the next show, for the next show. Here, we don't know if there's a next show. When you're on the independents, nothing is guaranteed. You know, you're guaranteed to get your pay. You're not guaranteed to get booked on the next show unless you put it all out on the line. So every show we come out here and we give you 110%. A lot of people complain about that on the indies. Oh, well, you guys are doing too much. You're showing too much. You know, why don't you tone it back a bit? We don't have the opportunity to tone it back because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We have to put 110% into every match today, so the next promotion sees what we did today and they book us tomorrow. We have to make sure, because spots are not guaranteed. You know, I got kids on my heels right now. I've been doing this for 9 years, but I got kids that have been doing this for 2 to 3 years that are on my heels trying to take my spot.
Right.
So if I take a day off, if I take it easy in the ring, that kid could take my spot because GCW doesn't have to bring me back for GCW 13. But no matter who I wrestle, they're going to see the hunger, they're going to see the determination, and they're going to want to bring me back because they see what I bring to the table. I bring the table. Right. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's what I want people to know, and that's why I started focusing a lot of independent wrestling here over the past like 9 months on the channels, because I went to a show, I hadn't been to a show in like 15 years. Right. And back then it wasn't really necessarily that great. It was a bunch of maybe old timers or whatever, but in 2019, when I first went to 2020, it's completely changed. Independent wrestling is one of my favorite things to watch now. I love coming out. Every show is like, you can tell the heart and soul that you guys are putting into the matches, and we appreciate it as fans. And my girlfriend and I have just been loving the independent scene. We're coming out, we're supporting it, and we love to meet guys like you. And hopefully we're going to see you in the WWE in the future.
And we appreciate it, man. This stuff never goes unnoticed. You know, all of us in the back, we always talk about, you know, what the house looked like, what the crowd looked like, you know, who was interacting, who wasn't, and we appreciate that more than you guys ever realized. So when we put flyers up, when we put posts out and ask you guys to come to the show, it's not for anything other than we want to entertain that. You know, we want this to become your guilty pleasure. Like our guilty pleasure movies,
right.
You could be a wrestling fan. There's nothing wrong with being a WWE guy. There's nothing wrong with being an AEW guy, a New Japan guy, whatever you like, but understand there are guys out here that are doing the same things, but we're putting 10 times more into it. Come out, let this be your guilty pleasure. Come see us, come cheer us on, come boo us, do whatever you want to do. But give it a chance, because I promise you we can turn you. You'll be a fan by the end of the show.
That's for sure. There's a lot worse things you can spend money on. I mean, most independent shows, well, yeah, today's free, so there is no money. I mean, most independent shows are 10, 15, 20 bucks. Today is free.
You'll spend more than 10 bucks at Starbucks, I promise you.
That's for sure. I mean, you got a chocolate festival here, you got GCW. You can't ask for anything more here. Now, is there anything before we let you go? Because I know you've got, well, maybe you've got a match coming up tonight. I don't know.
I got to sign autographs, man.
Yeah, he's got to sign autographs. We got to sell some T-shirts. We got to make some money out here. That's for sure. Definitely. So you got to check out the Tony Storm merchandise, that's for sure. Is there anything else we should know about Tony Storm, the Storm, before we let you go?
Just go ahead and follow me on all my socials. You can find me at thestorm_85 on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. Follow my YouTube channel. All you got to do is search The Storm, and I'll pop up everywhere.
Okay. Awesome, Tony. Thank you so much.
Not a problem, man.
All right, guys, make sure you subscribe here to TonedInEnt Entertainment for future videos. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.